Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing another video in my Spirituality A to Z series, and it's going to be entitled H is for Human Shadow. I want to kind of start this video explaining that the human shadow is essential. It's very simple. When light shines on you in this direction, there is a shadow behind you. There is a shadow aspect that is right here that you can't ever see. And you can't ever turn around and see it because it'll be gone. Because that's the way the shadow works. And then most of the time, if not all the time, they're pretty negative. They can be positive as well. Like, there are things in the shadow that can be very, very empowering and very positive and stuff like that. But the shadow is also, most of the time, pretty negative because people don't want to look at it and they repress it and they deny it. And because of that, it gets more and more aggravated and more negative. And that's the only way it can really be seen is through a negative action. And the shadow isn't something to be feared. It isn't something to run away from. It is something that all of us have. Every person. No one's perfect. Everybody has a shadow. Everybody has insecurities. Everybody has negative parts of themselves. And those shadow aspects and those darker parts, I guess you could say, not necessarily dark in a bad sense, but those unconscious parts are going to come out eventually, and you're going to realize them, and it's only going to take a matter of time. So it's better to kind of try and understand those unconscious things going in so that you know your unconscious motivations and whatnot with the shadow, because you have a conscious, desire, but you also have an unconscious desire, and both of those things are working at the same time. So because of that, you have to understand both of these desires to know which one you're kind of playing towards, I guess you could say, because you are constantly moving forward and they're both playing a part. So you have to be aware of both of them, because if you're only aware of the conscious part, then the unconscious part is just going to get more and more weighed down, and then eventually it's going to get so unbalanced that it's going to snap, and then this one's going to come up, and you're going to shock yourself, and your life's going to be like, what's happening? I don't even know. And that's your shadow, because you don't know your shadow. So of course you're not going to know what's going on when the shadow aspect of you decides to come up. And that, what I find for a lot of the time, for me, I find a lot of my own shadow in other people. Because I think that's the best way to kind of see yourself. Because like I said, everybody is a reflection of you. Everything is a reflection of you. So if you can look at other people and the negative of other people, the positive, all of that stuff of other people, you can look at that. You can see that those negatives are also in you, or else it wouldn't be presented to you. That's the way it works. You wouldn't be able to see the negatives in someone else if they weren't also in you. So the shadow is extremely, extremely beneficial for your own understanding of yourself on a conscious and unconscious level. Because if you're able to bring the unconscious into the conscious, it's no longer unconscious anymore, and you're able to be aware of it, and then you're able to kind of know more of yourself in a deeper, more profound, more integrated way. And the human shadow just wants that. It's just like any other aspect of yourself. It just wants to be seen. It just wants to be felt. It just wants to be heard. And shadow work and the human shadow, that's extremely crucial for that understanding, because like I said, it's like there's this whole other layer of you that's unconscious that you've never experienced and never really delved into sometimes. And a lot of people just doing it psychologically. That's what most people start with, is psychology, and asking, okay, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And that's how you kind of get in touch with your own shadow and your own motivations. And I'm not saying there's only negative things in the shadow, because there are positive things, but you kind of have to dig through it. It's kind of like the Cave of Wonders. It's really, really scary to go in, and it's this giant mouth and whatnot, but once you decide to go in and face it, you can find these beautiful jewels and beautiful things coming out of it if you're willing to go into that and face your own shadow and face your own fears and face the part of yourself that doesn't really know. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much all I needed to say on the human shadow. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will be posting a lot more videos on this channel, and I really hope to see you guys soon. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.